live on Facebook. I'm actually doing this from my computer for the first time, which I haven't done before. I normally always do it from my phone. Since I'm going live on both, I want to be able to see both pages. Let me go ahead and do that. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like, okay, I'm live on Instagram too. It is so good to be here with you all today. I see people hopping on one at a time. We're going to be tapping live here today on how you can use tapping to increase your productivity and how to really transform your daily habits and the results you're getting in life every day with the tapping technique. I know I've been getting great feedback from all of you who've been watching my Productivity Accelerator program. If you're just hearing about that for the first time, the Productivity Accelerator program is available for free to watch right now up until tomorrow. We've had it free for 2 weeks. Up until tomorrow, it is available to watch for free right now. I see people requesting to come on live. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll see if we can do any of that. We'll see what we're going to do with that, although we might just do tapping overall. Just want to get to all the pages and make sure that we are live here everywhere that we need to be. I'm also giving it a minute for my team to share. I know that the team is going to be sharing it on some different pages, like the tapping solution page. So I want to make sure that all of you can join from your different locations. So today we're going to be, yeah, there we go. Now I see it here on my page. So we're going to be tapping and talking about how we use tapping to transform our productivity on a daily basis. So if you've watched any of my Productivity Accelerator program, which as I said is available to watch for free up until tomorrow, if you want to have access to it after that, you do have to pick up a tapping solution planner. The program, you know, I developed the program with the intention to sell it. It'll probably be in our store as of Friday for $97. And what I wanted to do was make it available for everybody because I wanted them to be able to, I wanted everybody to be able to access it during this time. And as I said, if you pick up a planner, you'll actually get one of those for free during that time. I see people from Serbia, Maria from Argentina, from Buenos Aires. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Good to see you. Roxanne from Michigan, let me know where you're watching from. We're going to do some tapping today in just a few minutes. I'm going to make sure to answer questions. I know that a number of you submitted questions ahead of time so that we could actually work on some of the different challenges that you're all facing when it comes to being more productive every day, right? The goal here is not just to be more productive, but also to feel more productive on a daily basis every day, because that is really what we're shooting for. I see Unique from, well, that's your screen name, Unique Carla from Brazil. Hi, good to see you from Brazil. I love Brazil. I know I'm from Argentina, but I love Brazil as well. Tenua from Oregon. I butchered that name. I'm sorry. People have been butchering my full name for years. Hello from Spain. Hello from Slovenia. Harvey from Canada. Good to see you all here today. Quickly and surely more and more people are joining here during the live. I tapped yesterday in our Tapping Insiders Club on this same topic, and we're going to do some of the same tapping that we did yesterday. And I'm going to actually show you what I do on a daily basis in order to get more productive and to get more done during the day, every day. Because, as I said, productivity is about a feeling. Productivity is about how do we go about having a day where we actually feel like we are connecting with our work and enjoying our work and feeling productive at the end of the day. Because if you're like most people, you probably had a day where you worked 8 hours, you were nonstop, you were doing all sorts of things, but then you got to the end of the day and you did not feel like you were productive because of the internal rules that you have for yourself, or you had for yourself for that day, of the things you really wanted to get done and that you didn't actually get those things done, right? And so on the flip side, I'm sure you've had a day where you worked 4 hours in a day and you felt like you moved mountains and that you were super productive and everything was amazing. And that's because you were basically completing the rules of what you had to be productive in that day. So it's not necessarily about the number of hours we work in a day, but more importantly about the actual things that we accomplish in that day and how we feel at the end of the day because of getting those things done. So we're going to do some tapping today. To get ourselves centered and focused. I'm going to show you the tapping that I do every morning as part of my morning process. And I'll also, show you how I go about tapping on different things in that morning process in terms of tapping on calming down the amygdala, so calming down and recognizing whatever we're feeling in that day, and then releasing any negative emotions we have, and then choosing new positive emotions. And then also we will tap on the second part of what I do every day is releasing any self-doubts that we have about ourselves, any limiting beliefs, any fears of what other people will think. Because so often what we fear or what we would limit ourselves by is what we believe about ourselves and what we believe other people think or believe about us. And so we don't actually go ahead and take action in moving forward on all the things that we actually want to accomplish because we're sitting there being worried about what other people are going to think about us or say about us, or we think that we're not good enough and that we can't get the things done that we want to get done. And so what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to tap to become our full and present selves on a daily basis. I can tell you that this process is transformational in terms of when you are able to show up for your day every day, being present, being yourself, full of confidence, moving forward in the direction you want, regardless of what other people think about you. That's how you create the freedom to actually create the life that you want. Because so often, no matter how organized we get, how clear we get on our to-dos and our goals, if we block ourselves, if we self-sabotage ourselves, we will never actually move forward in creating the life that we want. And so we want to be able to control our emotions, be conscious of our emotions, and control our self-doubts and our fears and our limiting beliefs to release those things so that we can actually move forward in creating the life that we want. So I'd love to hear from any of you. What do you feel there is that actually blocks you on a daily basis? So I got Facebook here and I got Instagram here. I'm looking at both of you guys. So what do you think it is that blocks you on a daily basis from being more productive? What do you think is holding you back? Do you find that you self-sabotage? Do you find that you procrastinate? Do you find that you're just not confident enough? What are some of the things that hold you back from creating the day that you want on any given day? So it's super important that on any given day we start to look at those things. So procrastination is a huge thing for me. Thank you for answering that, Christopher. Perceived hard work for a task at hand. Great. Perceiving that something's going to be hard. That's one of the things that we have to work on, is to make sure that we are doing the things that matter and not the things that are just easy. Too many things to take care of as a mom of 4. I understand that. I got 3 kids. I'm slowly getting out of the super small phase. I got a 7, 9, and 11-year-old, although they're about to turn 8, 10, and 12. And, it definitely gets easier by the year, but it is not easy. There are some things you can do as a mom of 4, and sometimes there are some limitations that you have because of parenting. And I feel those limitations all the time because, if I didn't have 3 kids to bring to soccer practices and help with homework and have to be present with, I'd have more time to do all the things that I want to do. But that's also a part of the choices we make as a parent, and I love being a parent and I love being present with my kids. So lack of belief that I can be consistent. Great. So we're talking about belief there. Let me check over on Facebook here. Not always sure what the next step toward my goal is. I feel really down in the mornings and end up taking a very long time to get dressed and ready. Looking in too many directions, lack of focus. Tiny habits has been helpful for me. Great. That's, what sometimes when you think about those tiny habits or little things you can do to move forward, we'll talk about that with a planner and why that's so important. Overwhelm is so often that we are just overwhelmed with the number of tasks that we have, and we don't have clarity on the things that we want to move forward on. And so it's a really important part of the morning process to actually get clear on. So what I do in my morning process with my Tapping Solution Planner is I get clear on 3 projects for the week every week, and I get clear on only 3, and only 3 must have results every single morning as the things that I'm going to work on. And I judge my day at the end of the day based on those 3 tasks and how well I accomplish those things, because those are the rules I set for myself. So when you're conscious of setting the rules for yourself, you can set yourself up to win, as opposed to sometimes you get to the end of the day and you're like, I feel like I got nothing done, and you don't know why. You just don't feel like you've gotten anything done, and that is because of the internal rules that you have. So when you can start to set the rules for yourself on what rules you will play by that will make you feel that you are accomplished, you'll then be able to accomplish those things and then feel accomplished at the end of the day. So Linda said procrastination and self-doubt, fear of success and attention. Janice, I can easily be distracted by reading my book, following a link, etc. I like your 3 tasks. So lots of good things. A lot of the same things that I heard yesterday when I was doing our Tapping Insiders Club weekly live in there and doing tapping on the same topic. So we're going to go ahead and just jump into some tapping. Give me a heart, give me a like if you are interested in, if you're excited to do some tapping today. I see requests are going to come in. I'm going to see about whether or not we actually do some tapping live with somebody. The challenge is that we're on both Instagram and Facebook, and if somebody's on Facebook, they can't see the people on Instagram. So that might be challenging. So we'll see. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to just go ahead and do some tapping on how we go about tapping in the morning, right? So how do we start that morning routine off first thing in the morning? And so I want you to, I know, for me, it's 2 o'clock Eastern time. For those of you that are Pacific time, it's still 11, it's still morning. And if you're in Europe or further along, you're at the end of your day. So, but I want you to just think about, maybe you need to recenter yourself right now in this moment, but I want you to think about what you're feeling right now, or really what emotion you've been feeling on most mornings. Some of you said groggy, tired. A lot of times in the morning when I acknowledge the emotions that I'm feeling, I feel tired and groggy in the morning, and I struggle to wake up, right? That's a typical emotion depending on how you've slept that night before. And so what we're going to do, and I want you to think about this for yourself, is think about what are you feeling? So what emotion are you feeling right now? We can tap on it right now as if it's morning wherever you are in the world. And I also want you to pick what emotion do you actually want to bring into the day, because we want to not only tap on releasing the negative emotions, but we want to tap on any positive emotions that we want to choose and bring into this day. So we're going to do some positive tapping as well to bring in positive emotions into our day. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in and breathe out. And just acknowledge what you're feeling right now in this moment. And you can just repeat after me, and let's start tapping on the karate chop point. And we're gonna talk. We're gonna tap on feeling groggy or tired, but you can fill in whatever language you want to fill in for you and what feels right for you, right? So this is what I would typically do in the morning, and what I do every single morning. So just repeating after me. Even though I feel tired and groggy, I acknowledge and accept how I'm feeling right now. Even though I feel tired and groggy and unmotivated, I acknowledge and accept what I'm feeling right now. And one more round on the karate chop point. Even though I'm feeling unmotivated and unenergized, I choose to shift my energy as I get my day going. And then we're going to go to the eyebrow point. Remember, if you're new to tapping, you can do one side, you can do the other side, you can do both sides, whatever you prefer. I typically like to do one side when I'm tapping live so that you guys can see my face. So on the eyebrow point, I feel so tired. Side of the eye, I'm struggling to get my energy going. Under the eye, I feel so unmotivated. Under the nose, I feel so groggy. Chin point, but I want to be productive today. Collarbone point, I don't want to procrastinate. Under the arm, I want to find a way to shift my energy now. Top of the head, but I feel so groggy in the morning. Eyebrow point, I feel so groggy. Side of the eye, but I choose to shift my energy now. Under the eye, one more time, I choose to shift my energy right now. Under the nose, I choose to bring clarity and focus to my day. Chin point, I choose to center and ground myself right now. Collarbone point, knowing that all is well and I am safe. Under the arm, I choose to raise my energy now. Top of the head, and bring energy to my day. And just stop there and take a deep breath in. And breathe out. And so that was just a quick round of tapping there of what I typically do every single morning as I get my day going. Just so what we want to do right now is just check in again. So, you know, if I know we didn't calibrate right in the beginning, but typically we would calibrate, you know, how groggy or tired we are feeling on a level of 0 to 10, or maybe we might measure how high is my energy, where 10 is really high and 0 is low. But let's just, you know, if you were able to measure what you were at before, maybe you were at a, you know, 7 or an 8 before of grogginess or tiredness. Even though right now for me it's 2 o'clock, after doing that tapping, I feel more energized. So you let me know in the comments below, what did you feel during that tapping? Did you feel your energy raising? Do you feel more energized during it? Are you saying this live to your feed? Are you saving this live to your feed? Good question. I might. We'll see. I'll download it and see if I can put it on my feed. You know what? I am downloading it from Facebook, so I could always bring it over to Instagram. Yeah, so we'll see about that. So yeah, somebody said feel amazing. I was down from an 8 to a 5. More energized. Thank you everyone for answering. You can feel the shift in energy when you just start doing that tapping. And so just, you know, when I talk about doing this on a regular basis, somebody said yes, ready to get into action. Katrina, feel more energized, great. I feel better. Danette here, yes, my energy raised, hopeful. Natalia, I feel happier now. Marie, I feel more positive. I feel more positive about this. So whatever you are feeling there, so this is why it's so important to start off our days with acknowledging what we're feeling in the morning. So if we're feeling groggy or tired, which that is typically the most common thing that I'll tap on in the morning, is just feeling groggy or tired. But other things might be there too. So if you're feeling, you know, angry or upset, or if you got into, you know, if your kids were bothering you in the morning and throwing you off, or you got into an argument with somebody, with a spouse or somebody like that, or anybody else, you want to acknowledge those emotions if you're carrying those into your day, because you don't want to go through your day carrying those, right? You want to be able to be as present and focused on the things that you want to get done during that day. So we want to acknowledge those negative emotions, release them, allow our amygdala to calm down. Because remember, for those of you who haven't heard me say this a million times, that when we are in those negative emotions, our amygdala in our brain is triggered, part of the limbic system. And anytime our amygdala, which is the fight or flight system in the limbic system, when that is triggered, it takes away our ability to access our prefrontal cortex. That's the front of our brain that allows us to make decisions, you know, and see future consequences. It is what we do all our modern thinking from, is from our prefrontal cortex. And so we want to be sure that we are accessing our highest resources when we get going in the day. And what most people don't realize on an ongoing basis is that, you know, they don't realize what level of stress or anxiety or overwhelm they're living with every day, and how much it actually affects their ability to make good decisions and to move forward. I know, you know, if you just picture, if you ever had to speak in public in front of other people, if you practice, and then all of a sudden got up there and you got nervous, that's because your amygdala fired and you weren't able to access everything. You got nervous and then you couldn't remember everything that you wanted to say during your talk. And so we want to be sure that we are accessing our full resources by actually doing the tapping, calming the amygdala, and allowing ourselves to be our full and present self as we do the tapping and go through our day. And so, you know, super important that we do that in the morning. So that's step one. First step we do is we acknowledge what we're feeling in the morning, and we tap on any negative emotions, and we release those negative emotions and choose new emotions as we go through it. Now, I only did a little bit of tapping on the negative. How much tapping on the negative you would do would depend on how strong that emotion was for you. If you're an 8, a 9, or a 10 on a negative emotion, you're not just going to be able to quickly jump to a positive emotion. It's just not going to feel congruent for you. So you're going to tap on that negative emotion longer and then move to the positive. but we want to be sure that we tap on the negative first and then move to the positive, and that we raise our energy and prepare for our day. I love, for example, in the morning, I'll go through all the rounds of tapping, and I like to end here. It just feels like a strong energizing point for me here, where I just tap here, and I'll do that a few times, and I'll just say raising my energy for the day. I love to end on that point, but you might have other points that you really like to use to raise your energy on an ongoing basis. So that is step one. Again, step one, acknowledge what we're feeling and release those emotions, and then choose new positive emotions on a daily basis. Step number two, and again, this is all outlined in the planner. For those of you who have gotten a Tapping Solution Planner, thank you so much. I know you're going to love it. We already have about 1,000 people who have joined our Tapping Solution Planner community. We've sold about 7,000 planners. So no, I want to say not 7,000 yet. Did I say that this morning? I think I did say that this morning. It's not 7,000. It's a little less than that. Total planners that we've sold, about 1,000 people have already joined the Tapping Solution Planner community. Super excited for all the people that have joined that Facebook community, so that we can work over the coming weeks to get clear on the new year, to set all our goals, to do our 90, 1 year, 5 year, 10-year goals, all that stuff. And so that we can then actually use the planner on a daily basis to move forward in creating the life that we want. So super excited and grateful for all of you. Christopher says it's on the way to Ireland. Can't wait to get it. Thank you for getting it, even though you're all the way in Ireland. I know the shipping is not cheap right now to different places around the world. Massage your lymphatic system too by tapping on your chest. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So step two in the process that we do every day. So again, after we calm the amygdala, we want to go ahead and actually tap on any doubts that we have, any self-doubt that we have, any fears of rejection, anything where we are limiting what we believe about ourselves and what we believe other people are believing or thinking about us. Because so often we limit ourselves and we limit our ability to move forward in our life because we're doubting ourselves. We don't think we're smart enough. We don't think we're good enough. We don't think we're capable. We're afraid of failure. All the ways that we limit ourselves. And we limit ourselves because we are afraid of what other people are going to think about us, whether they're going to reject us, or even, oftentimes I've talked to people who are like, I don't even want people to think something negative of me, let alone hear it from them. And so, it's important to think about how it is that we as humans are so afraid and worried about what other people think about us. Because if you go back, if you think about the evolution of humans, thousands of years, we were essentially pack animals, right? You think about wolves as pack animals, but humans were pack animals. We lived in tribes, and if you were in the wild and there was a tiger in the tall grass, if there was 5 of you with spears, your likelihood of survival would be a lot stronger than if there was just 1 of you. And if there was 20 of you, other animals would leave you alone, or other tribes would leave you alone. And so our brains have developed over thousands of years, much longer than that, over a very, very long time, to want to be around other people and to feel safe within a community. And so any fears or anything that we think is going to actually remove us from the tribe, from the community, literally can feel like life or death to us. And so often, so many of the things that we're working on a daily basis right now when it comes to doing the tapping is to make it so that these old parts of our brains that were created in a way for our survival thousands of years ago are not needed right now. Not in the same way, not to say that they're not needed, because they still are needed, but they limit our ability to actually use the prefrontal cortex and to not be so worried about what other people will think or say about us. So the more you can actually tap on those fears of what other people will think or say and what you believe about yourself, the more freedom you will create for yourself in being able to actually take action on those things moving forward. So I'd love to hear from you. What are the self-doubts that you have? What are the doubts that you have about yourself? What do you say about yourself? How do you feel like, do you think you're not good enough? Do you think you're not smart enough? Do you think you're not capable enough? Let me know what those limiting beliefs are that you believe about yourself. Try and think about what's the latest thing that you thought or said about yourself lately where you wanted to do something and you're like, I can't do that. I'm not good enough or smart enough for that. Let me know in the comments below what you think about what you think those limitations are that you put on yourself. Penny, my planner's on the way and I'm so excited to receive it. I'm so excited for that, Penny. Thank you for getting one. And I'm really excited to have you as part of the planner community. Hopefully you're in there as well. Sally Smith, you are amazing. Thank you. It's very kind of you to say. I'm excited to be here and tap with you all right now. So no matter how much I learn, I think I don't know enough, right? Okay, great. Harvey, I feel fine about myself, but I'm having difficulty. So, that no matter how much I learn and think I don't know enough, it's a great, so often people think that they need to know everything in order to take action, right? When you can shift that belief into a belief that you are always learning and that you are always growing, and that the only way to really truly learn and grow at a fast pace is to actually move forward, fail, move forward, fail, move forward, fail, and keep failing forward, it totally shifts your ability to grow, right? This is kind of fixed mindset versus growth mindset. When you can shift some of those beliefs to be growth mindset, where you know that you will never know everything you need to know, but the way that you'll get there is by actually moving forward. That's when you'll actually start to take more action. If you're going to do anything new, if you're going to do anything in a big way, you need to first understand and be okay with sucking at it, right? You need to be okay with starting something, whether it's a new business or, or new relationship, or whatever way you're putting yourself out there in a bigger way. You need to be willing to suck at it at first, because you're going to. That's natural. Anytime we go to learn a new skill, we're not going to be good at it. And then we go from sucking at it to being okay at it, to being decent at it, to being good at it, to being great at it, right? So a lot of times people think that that somehow by learning enough and knowing enough that they'll just be able to jump forward to being good at it or being competent at it, so they don't feel embarrassed and can move forward with it. But you have to start off by realizing that no matter how much you know, you will still start off doing something not that great at it, right? And you might be horrible at it, and that's okay. But we have to go through that learning process to move ourselves forward and keep moving forward. So some of the other comments here: Judith, I'm working on a big project, school, and my negative talking is I'm not the right person for this project. Whatever we believe about ourselves is true. If we believe we're great, we are. If we believe we're not, it's true. So it's whatever we believe about ourselves will become true. So we want to kind of shift some of those different beliefs and emotions, beliefs that we have about ourselves. So we're working on beliefs right now. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in and breathe out. Somebody just asked on Instagram, is this planner the same as before, the test group of 2019? It is 95% the same. There are some changes in that there is actually a daily schedule on the daily pages, because it is fully a planner, not a journal now. So there are some small changes to it. But for the majority of it, yes, it is the same, although it's much prettier now. This is the final printed version of it, different colors, 5 different colors. But the version you had as a test group, yes, that was 95% the same. So if you're still using that, great. If you want to get a nicer version of it that's printed nicely and set up nicely, then you can do that as well. But if you had the test one, you also get to be in the planner group. You're probably already in there already. So Marie said, mine are negative thinking and doubting myself. So awesome. So we're going to go ahead and do some tapping. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in all together and breathe out. And let's start by tapping on the karate chop point. So we're going to work on releasing these self-doubts and building confidence in ourselves. Again, remember, this is a really important process to do in the morning. And I know we're taking, time. We're about 30 minutes into this right now as I go through this. But when I go through this in my mornings, it might take me 5 minutes. Once you get in the habit of doing it, it does not take long. But it's being conscious of what you're feeling, what your negative emotions are, what your beliefs are about yourself and what you have to get done that day, and what your beliefs are about what other people think about you. And when you can make sure that all those are in alignment and supporting you, it'll help you to move in the direction that you want. So tapping on the side of the hand, even though I'm doubting myself, I acknowledge that this is my belief right now. Even though I'm doubting myself in this moment, I acknowledge that this is just my belief right now. Even though I'm doubting myself, that I'm smart enough or good enough or capable enough, I acknowledge that this is just my belief right now. We're going to go to the eyebrow point. I'm not smart enough. Side of the eye, I'm not capable enough. Under the eye, these are all my current beliefs. Under the nose, but what if I could shift my beliefs? Chin point, no, that's not possible. Collarbone point, this is just who I am. Under the arm, but what if this is just the label I've given myself? Top of the head, what if this is a label that others gave to me as a child? Eyebrow point, I want to shift this belief about myself. Side of the eye, to remember that we are all always learning. Under the eye, to remember that we are all always growing. Under the nose, I choose to learn and move forward on my journey. Chin point, to know that I am doing my best every day. Collarbone point, I choose to believe in myself a little more right now. Under the arm, to have a little more belief in myself. Top of the head, what if I have everything I need right now? Eyebrow point, what if I'm already good enough? Side of the eye, what if I'm already smart enough? Under the eye, I choose to believe in myself right now. Under the nose, to know that everyone has self-doubts. Chin point, to know that it shows that I'm trying to grow. Collarbone point, I choose to believe in myself in this moment. Under the arm, to know that I am enough. Top of the head, I choose to believe in myself right now. Stop there and take a deep breath in and breathe out. So we're tapping on our beliefs about ourselves. And so what I do every morning as part of the Tapping Solution Planner is I stop and I go, well, based on the things that I want to get done today, are there any self-doubts that I have that are going to keep me from moving forward? And if there are, I write those down and I tap on them. And every day I also choose a new belief that I want to have about myself, right? I choose what I want to believe about myself that might be the opposite of that. So if you were to say, let's say that you needed to speak in front of a group that day or do a one-on-one call or something like that. If you had a negative limiting belief about yourself that was, I'm not a good enough speaker, you would tap on the negative, and then the positive belief that you would choose about yourself might be something like, you don't have to say I'm a great speaker because it might not feel congruent with you, even because if you're new to speaking, but you might say something like, I'm getting better and better every day. Or you might say, I am growing as a speaker. Or you might say, I am a present and capable person and capable of speaking today. Whatever that positive belief is that you want to instill in yourself. So we would acknowledge those negative limiting beliefs that we have about ourselves, and then we would tap in on those positive beliefs that we choose to believe about ourselves during that day. So that's what we're doing with the tapping on our self-doubts and how we limit ourselves. So Christopher said, thanks for that. Thank you, Chris, for tapping with me. So let's see what people are saying on the Facebook group here. Let's see, can that be added to the app for a morning session? Yeah, so one of the things I am going to be doing in the coming weeks is actually building out different tapping meditations that are going to go into the app that are going to go along with the tapping solution planner. So the tapping solution planner, some people have asked, does it have tapping scripts in there or anything like that? No, it does not. It has tapping prompts. So every day it's got an area that is, asking you, what are you feeling? So I'll actually read it to you. I'll tell you what it says. So the first area, step 1, tapping on the amygdala, it says, am I feeling any negative emotions such as stress, anxiety, overwhelm, anger, resentment, sadness, etc.? If so, enter it here and tap. And so what you would do there is you would enter in what you're feeling. You write a before score and there's an after score, and then you choose the positive tap you're going to have in that day. So the question there, the prompt there is, what positive emotion do I choose to bring into this day? Write it down below and tap it in. Now, so those are the prompts. Now, what I will be doing in the app is creating more tapping meditations to go along with different things that you might feel in your morning. So in the morning, you might feel that you are feeling overwhelmed, and so we'll have tapping meditation for that, or anxiety, or you might be feeling tired and groggy. You want to get your day going. So I'm gonna build out those different tapping meditations in there. And then again on step 2. So step 2 in here says relieve self-doubt and fears of rejection and build confidence. So again, here it's a tapping prompt. So in here it says, is there anything causing me to doubt myself, my ability, or my goals today? And do I have any fears of sharing my ideas, speaking up, or being my full self today because of what others will think or say? Answer below and tap. And there you just answer the question. You just write in what you are, how you're doubting yourselves or what you're worrying about what other people think. And then it has the positive tapping. So in there it says, what do I choose to believe about myself today that will empower me to be at my best? So those are tapping prompts that are going to help you. And what we will be doing in the coming weeks is developing more. There's already a ton of tapping meditations that you could use in the morning. There's tapping meditations in the app on getting motivated, motivate me to write, motivate me to exercise, all sorts of things like that. And so you'll be able to use those things in the app as well. So yes, to answer that question, yes, I will be doing that. Let's see here. I tend to wake up at the last minute with rare exception. Yesterday I woke up 5 minutes before I was to pull out of the driveway. Great. So again, those are things that you can work on. So what I would recommend there is working on your nighttime routine of how you tap and prepare for bed for the night before, and maybe just working to set up different rituals and routines for the morning. So Harvey, I feel more comfortable getting right to the positive. I don't want to amplify the negative, but do acknowledge the negative. Just want to move from it quickly. Is there a limitation in positive tapping without the negative? Harvey, yeah, it's a good question. So here's what I would say. If you don't want to say the negative, there may be a reason for that. Right? I know a lot of times when it comes to the law of attraction or that kind of thinking, that people feel like if they focus on the negative, they're going to attract more of the negative, right? That's not the case here. As our dear departed friend Louise Hay said in an interview with Nick years ago, she said, if you want to clean a house, you have to see the dirt. So if you want to clean up your negative emotions, your limiting beliefs, your fears, all these types of things, you have to see them. You have to see them and acknowledge them. And sometimes we want to move past them because they don't feel good. Sometimes we don't want to go deeper into the sadness or the anger or the frustration or any of those things. But it's so important to actually go into those things and acknowledge those things so that we can move forward and releasing them and going to the positive. So just something to be aware of there. Not to say that it's not good. Most days when I feel good and strong and feeling good in my day, I go to the positive very quickly. But if there's a part of you that's like, I don't want to tap on the negative, it's something to think about as to why you are not wanting to do that. So somebody said, how did you discover tapping? We didn't. Nick, Jess, and Jessica and I did not discover tapping. It was not discovered. Well, it's based on ancient Chinese acupuncture and acupressure. And so it was developed in the 1980s, really late 70s by a man called Roger Callahan. So you can look that up and find the history. It's on our website at thetappingsolution.com. Esty, is it a free app used for the calendar program? The Tapping Solution app does not necessarily go along with the planner, but you can get that. Just look up Tapping Solution app in the App Store or Google Play. You'll see that in there, and you can download the app for free. There is a paid version, but there's tons of free stuff in there as well for you to try out and use there. So, all right, so let's go ahead and let's move to actually doing some tapping on our fears of rejection and our fears about what other people will think or say about us, because those are, of course, big limitations that we put on ourselves. So if you think about any of the big goals or tasks that you have going on right now, the big goals that you want to achieve, I want you to think about, who is it that you worry about what they would think or say or how they would judge you. This might be your closest family members. It might be your parents. It might be your siblings. It might be your friends, right? Or it might be your coworkers. Or it might be that you're afraid of, if you start doing something, public on social media, that people are going to judge you. So let me know in the comments, whose opinion are you afraid of, right? So who are you afraid is going to judge you if you try to come out and work in bigger and bigger ways? I can still remember, when I was in just out of college, I remember I did a speaking course, and I remember as part of that, at the end, we recorded this video where we had prepared a speech, and I was maybe 21, I was 22-ish or so. So this is almost 20 years ago, about 18 years ago or so. And I remember that I filmed that video, and I put it on my YouTube channel, I think, and not even knowing it, my college friends somehow got a hold of it. They must have just found it, and they were passing it along amongst themselves, and then, in public text messages were just making fun of me for it and everything. And it hurt at the time. It was a ding on, what I was trying to do and how I was trying to put myself out in the world. And, I had those friends not supporting me and being critical of me. So, so oftentimes it can be our closest people, our closest friends and family members, that we're worried about what they're going to think or say about us. And so it's really important that anytime we are getting our day going, that we are acknowledging, who are we afraid is going to judge us in terms of what we're going to do. I can tell you now that in terms of the work that I do, I don't worry about, negative comments online. Like, for example, with my kids' book, I always say that you don't have a successful book on Amazon until you have some one-star reviews of people criticizing you for one thing or the other. And I don't mind any of those public negative comments. I've been more critical about what my peers think of me than about what other people I don't know think about me. Now, granted, I've worked a lot on this and don't really care nearly as much as I used to, but about what my peers think, I just continue to focus on who am I serving, who am I helping, how can I help more people to become their full selves, how can we help more people with tapping, with the app, with the planner, with our books, with all those different things, how can we help people to transform their lives. So Christopher's saying, people who only know me from before rather than who I am now, right? Yeah, absolutely. When you think about, I tell you, I don't have a single friend right now from high school anymore. I don't have a single friend from college anymore. My college friends I held on to for about 10 years, and then we just grew apart, and that sometimes that happens. And so, we can have those fears about what are those people going to think of us from back then, and that can hold us back. And so it's great. We're going to do some tapping on that. Let's see here. Gil said peers is who he's worried about. Harvey said, can you clear up about the a bunch of questions coming in there now. Can you clear up about the extras offered with the purchase of the planner? It looks like the extras bonuses are only included when purchasing for all the bonuses, whether it's the productivity accelerator program or the bonuses, they all come whether you buy 1 or 4. I've got no difference in the number of bonuses you get for those. You'll get access to those no matter what. You wrote a kid's book? Yep, I wrote a kid's book. It's over there, if you can see it. It's Gorilla Thumps and Bear Hugs is what it's called. Gorilla Thumps and Bear Hugs. You can look it up on Amazon and get a copy there. It's a great kid's book. My husband is my big supporter, so I'm afraid of failing him, is what Judith said there. Thank you, Judith, for that honesty, for letting us know what you were feeling there. So again, it can be our closest supporters, and we're afraid of failing them or not doing good enough job, and just being judged. And so we hold ourselves back from moving forward. So we're going to go ahead and do some tapping on this. So if you have it in your mind, who you think you worry about in terms of what they think about you, keep that in your mind as we start to do the tapping. So let's go ahead and start tapping on the side of the hand, on the karate chop point. And just say, even though I'm afraid of being judged, I acknowledge and accept these fears that I have. Even though I'm afraid of being judged by others, and it's holding me back from taking action, I acknowledge and accept these fears that I have. Again, even though I'm afraid of being judged by others, I choose to find a way to move forward anyway. And we'll go to the eyebrow point. I'm afraid of being judged. Side of the eye. And what I want you to do here is just fill in the blank. So I'm just going to say, I'm afraid of being judged by, and you fill in the blank. So just repeat that. I'm afraid of being judged by, and fill in the blank. Under the eye, and it's limiting me from taking action. Under the nose, I don't want to let them down or be judged by them. Chin point, but I acknowledge that this is holding me back. Collarbone point, and I want to find a way to move forward anyway. Under the arm, I'm afraid of being judged. Top of the head, I'm afraid of being seen playing small. Eyebrow point, I don't want to be judged. Side of the eye, so I hold myself back from taking action. Under the eye, but I choose to breathe and relax in my body now. Under the nose, and to acknowledge that I am enough. Chin point, I choose to release these fears right now. Collarbone point, people will always judge. Under the arm, just as I have judged so many others. Top of the head, but their opinions of me are none of my business. Eyebrow point, I choose to move forward with the things I want to do. Side of the eye, knowing that regardless of success or failure, under the eye, the people who love me will love me. Under the nose, the people who judge me will judge me. Chin point, they may judge me for failing. Collarbone point, they may judge me for succeeding. Under the arm, but I can't live my life based on their judgments. Top of the head, I choose to make my own opinion most important. Eyebrow point, I choose to believe in myself. Side of the eye, and stay on my path moving forward. Under the eye, if I push forward, others will judge. Under the nose, but that's a part of life and growing bigger. Chin point, but I choose to always be kind to others anyway. Collarbone point, I choose to be myself no matter what. Under the arm, I choose to move forward on my path. Top of the head, I choose to get all my big goals and dreams done. Let's stop there and take a deep breath in. And breathe out. And just feel into what you're feeling. See how your energy is, how your body's feeling after doing that. Hopefully you got a little bit of, energy and motivation from thinking about the fact that, look, people always, they judge each other, and we're all guilty of judging other people. But other people's opinions of us are none of our business. And look, if you look at some of the most successful people in the world, they're judged constantly, right? The more success you get, you will always have more people who love you and more people that hate you. I know that, for anybody like me who goes online and does videos like this, guarantee you there's some of you who love my work and love what I do, and I guarantee you there are people that can't stand me. I guarantee you there are people that love Nick and how he taps and not me, or people who love Jess and how she taps and not me, and people who love how I tap and not how Nick or Jess taps. We're all unique, we're all different, but we need to push forward in being ourselves and being, all of who we want to be at any time, right? When we hold ourselves back, worried that if we move forward, that people are going to judge us, they're going to judge us anyway. They're going to judge us for doing nothing. They're going to judge us for doing something. They're going to judge us for jumping too high. They're going to judge us for jumping too low. Move forward in your life. Stay on your path. This is why I recommend the Tapping Solution Planner so much, because there is a meticulous process that I developed in it that allows you to go through the process of developing your goals, your dreams, your vision for your life, of writing down those, we go through, if you've watched the Productivity Accelerator program, we go through, rough draft of goals, possible goals, so there's no pressure on them. Then we go into our final goals, and we build out our 90-day, 1 year, 5 year, 10-year goals. And then we use the rest of the planner to keep us on track to actually making those things a reality. Because life will always knock us aside. There will always be a million obstacles. It's going to be about our ability to stay on track and getting the things done that are going to make us feel fulfilled, that are going to move us closer to achieving our goals, that all the things that will make us happy and fulfilled and contributing to the world in a way that enlivens us and enlivens our soul. So hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about that tapping. Robin said, thank you and your siblings for everything you do. Thank you so much, Robin, for saying that. So Terry, I feel good after that. Harvey, the planner looks great, but after 60 days usage, will we need another physical planner? Harvey, yes. The answer to that is yes. Granted, I don't use it daily. I use it 5 days of the week, not all 7. That's what I recommend. I think it's good to have the 2 days off on the weekend. And if you use it it goes pretty much to 1 quarter. It's actually a few days short of a quarter, depending on how the quarter lands, but it's really meant to be that it's 1 planner per quarter that you use. That's why I have the 4-pack. I recommend getting the 5-pack so you have all 5 colors. It'll clearly last you a whole year. I think that small investment for that 4-pack is well worth it for yourself, because just, again, imagine the things that you could get done if every day you were getting clear on the things you needed to get done, if you were generating energy every morning by doing your tapping, if you were releasing all the self-doubts that you may have about yourself, if you are releasing your fears of rejection and the ways that you worry that other people are going to limit you. When you start to create this as a part of your daily morning routine and process, the way you will push forward in creating bigger and bigger results will transform your life. And if the reality is that if you do this planner, and I guarantee you're going to get so much support in the planner community, you have no idea, because I'm going to be your biggest advocate in there. If you go through the program, you go through the Productivity Accelerator program, and you use the tapping, you use the planner, if you use the app to support you, that if you do this on a consistent basis, that you will transform your ability to move forward in your life and creating the life that you want. Again, not necessarily about just success, but it can be about relationships and about your happiness and about your health, all the different areas of your life. When you use the planner to move forward and create balance, it will transform your life, and it is worth well more than anything you're going to pay for just a planner, even if you're getting for 4 of them for the year. If you're buying the single planners, it would make it well worth it at the single price. Penny says, each planner for only 1 quarter of the year. Yes, a planner is pretty much for 1 quarter of the year. So you'll have, it's 60 days worth, which the way I recommend using it will last about a quarter of the year. And there's a calendar in there for 3 months of the year. It is not, look, if I made a planner, like a year planner that just had dates and things like that and was super simple, that wouldn't be incorporating all the different mindset things that help you to actually transform your life. So, within the planner, make sure to go check out the page. I think somebody linked to it, but you can always go to thetappingsolution.com/planners with an S, PLANNERS. You can read all about it and see exactly what's on those daily pages, So it has journaling in there. I love every evening as part of my evening process, I journal about the day. It's about a third of one of the daily pages. There's 2 daily pages, the left side and right side. About a third of that evening process is journaling, writing about our day, writing about how we feel, right? And then going through an evening review, going through gratitude grounding, going through tapping in the evening. So lots of different things that go well beyond what a regular planner would do. So, if you think about this planner is this thick, if it did all those things and it was one planner for a whole year, it would be that thick. Right? That's how thick it would be for a whole year's worth of this process, because it'd be 4. And so, of course, that is just way too much to put into one plan. That's why it only covers a quarter of the year. Let's see here. Harvey, thanks, because organizing my projects is the challenge getting started when so many ideas are present and active. Yeah, again, go check out the page, learn all about it so you can see, for yourself why it is just so powerful. And I keep saying, I know I'm biased, but I think that this is absolutely the best planner in the world. It is the only planner in the world that incorporates tapping. And what is the point of getting organized and doing all these things that a planner does if you can't get yourself to do it? If you're going to procrastinate and self-sabotage and hold yourself back, what is the point of doing all those things if you can't get yourself to actually take action? That is why the tapping is so powerful in this planner. So let's look at some of the comments on Instagram. My mood has totally shifted in this hour. Thanks, Alex. I'm so glad that you came here and you tapped. I'm definitely ordering the 4-pack. I want to help in creating a life I love. Thank you for doing that and for joining, getting a planner and joining the planner community. I'll tell you, the planner, I spent 2 years developing this. I've been using this planner in a like literally a staples.com version of it for 2 years, and tweaking it and refining it and developing it. And I was using this process from way before that and refining it to be a great planner. This is a passion project for me. This is a passion project for me because I wanted this for myself first and foremost. And I figured, well, if I want this for me, then I want to build it out in a way where I can also help others with it as well. That is really what it's about. Again, like I said, it's a passion project for me because I want to be able to help others to transform their lives and how they feel and creating life balance and all those other fun things by actually using the Tapping Solution Planner. So let me know if you have any other questions below. I think we're done with the tapping for today. Diana said, thank you, Alex. Great info on tapping. Thank you for being here, Diana, and or Diane, and for tapping with me. Gil, it would be good if you find a distributor in the UK. I know people are struggling with the shipping. I know, Gil, we are working on that. We'll definitely get it in there within a few weeks. It's frustrating that it's the end of the year, and I know people would love to have it for January, but we are working on getting it in Amazon in the UK. We're working on getting it into Australia, even Canada, is expensive for people. So we're going to have that, and we'll let everybody know. If you didn't get the Tapping Solution email today, there was a spot on there to fill out a form to let me know if you want one and you're overseas. That way, when it becomes available in your country, I'll let you know right away. Marie, so very helpful, Alex. Will you have more live events like this for us again? Yes, I will absolutely have live events. Just so you guys know, we go live in the Tapping Insiders Club once a week, every week in the Tapping Insiders Club, and do live tapping like this every single week. Nick, Jessica, and I take 1 week at a time, and we go live in the Tapping Insiders Club. I think it's an awesome place to be. We do these lives sometimes on our Facebook pages, not as often as we'd like to, but yes, I would like to do more of them. What is the link for the planner again? Let me see if I can type it in here for you.
We go live in the Tapping Insiders Club.
Now it's, I went to comment, but then it just played my link. It is thetappingsolution.com/planner. Looks like, let's see here. Looks like I'm only on Instagram right now because I think I might have closed it out on Facebook. Let's see here. Let's see if I'm still on Facebook. No, I might have closed out on Facebook. So, all right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up there then for Instagram. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here on Instagram and Facebook. I guess that's what happened. This is the first time I've used Facebook Live from my computer rather than my phone. I actually have used 2 phones in the past when I'm going live on both, but for some reason my other phone was not functioning properly and going live, so I did it from my computer, and so I went ahead and closed that out. It might still be showing me live. Maybe it is still showing me live on there. Oh, it is. Let me know on Facebook if I'm still live with you, because I think I might still be live with you, but it somehow closed out on my screen. So you're here. Okay, great. So I didn't close it out. Thank you all for being here so much today. So let me see. Let me go into some more questions if there are more questions on there. Although I know Instagram might close it down a little bit because it tends to do that. Let me know if there are any specific questions on the planner. I know some people submitted questions ahead of time. I'm going to go look at those. But I think we did a lot of those questions. So let me know if you have any other questions here as well. Let's see here. Yeah, everyone's responding now finally. Yes, I'm still here. I'm still here. Yeah, good to still be here with you all today. So that question, thank you for posting that link, the tappinstitution.com/planners. If you can, so it's planners with an S on it because it won't work without the S. I realized that earlier today. So it's the tappinstitution.com/planners with an S is what it is. I'll have to have that planner link created as well. So yeah, I'm going to put it into Facebook here. The tappingsolution.com/planners is the link. So I'm not necessarily seeing any more questions popping in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up here. It's been an hour. Thank you all so much for being here, for tapping with me today. I'm super excited about tapping with a lot of you in the Tapping Solution community. I will do more of these live in the planner community, especially in January as we're all kind of kicking off our year. I want to make sure to be supportive with everyone in helping them as much as possible. Terry said, what days are you live and is it the same time? I'm not consistently live on our Facebook pages. We tend to go live within our Tapping Insiders Club, which we do every single week, or within individual communities like the Tapping Solution Planner community. So if you do get a planner, you'll see in that community there's about 1,000 people in there already. We'll be going live in there on a more consistent basis. So an amusing observation, tapping is hazardous to my glasses. They landed on the floor earlier. Yes, that can happen. Alexandra, got my planner on the way. Can't wait. Awesome. Gil said thank you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, thank you everyone for being here today. I know that people coming in and out. We'll go ahead and end it there. Sending you lots and lots of love. I will, you know what I will do? I know there's people requesting. I will make sure, I think if in order to go live with people and actually bring somebody on, I'm going to do that individually per platform. So I might do it sometimes on Instagram, sometimes on Facebook. I would definitely love to tap with you live sometimes. But that is it for today. I'm going to end it there. Until next time, keep tapping. Sending you lots and lots of love to all of you. Have a good day.